Hey, Zay.
Yes, Jeff.
You know it's the month of scare.
Do you have to continually remind me?
Okay, so it's Halloween time. This is kind of when scary is a thing, right?
Yeah, it is a thing.
But what happens when scary is not really scary, but more funny?
So like comedy and horror meet in the middle and make things like the Ginger Dead Man?
No, more like the classic TV shows and movies.
Oh, you're not talking. Okay.
Kind of this cult following kind of thing, but they're funny. Talking about a subgenre called comedic horror.
Yes, comedic horror. I know exactly what we're talking about now.
Comedic horror when scary is funny.
Yes.
And we're gonna do that when?
I think right after this.
Welcome to Whiskey Pop. My name is Jeff.
And I'm Zane.
And today we're going to talk about comedic horror, or like when scary is
actually funny. That sounds like a great idea, but you know what else sounds like a great idea? Oh yes, please point to it.
What are we having today?
It's a little nubbins of something.
Oh,
I don't even know if it's going to be good, but guess what? I think it will be.
This is an LA Single Malt Scotch whiskey. That's right, I said Scotch today. We're not just having bourbon. This is Bowmore, aged 12 years.
And things like this tend to make me happy.
Yeah, I think Zane's going to be smiling through the whole episode. Ready to try this?
I am ready to try it.
Oh shit, Zane.
I was getting ready to drink it. You said, oh shit.
Smell
it scared me.
Smell it, Zane.
I can.
You want to go in on this?
Yes,
like right now?
I do.
No,
here it goes.
Here it goes. I can't wait to review that this week on...
Second pour. It happens on Friday, and that's when us as experts tell you what we just tasted.
Did you say experts?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I didn't think you did.
No.
But Friday, second pour. Catch it. For now, comedic horror when scary is funny.
When it's funny.
So, you know, there's this whole subgenre of stuff in horror film, right?
Of course there is.
You have slashers and gore film, monsters, paranormal. You have sci-fi horror, gothic horror. You got romantic horror. Romantic horror?
Now, to be clear, when we're saying that horror is comedy, we're not talking about because it used to be scary when it originally came out, but now our sensibilities have changed and now it feels campy and stupid.
No, it was always funny.
It was always fun.
It was meant to be that way.
Yeah, this is what we're talking about.
And it's this weird subgenre where we're talking about where
and it doesn't really have a real name.
No, because we tried thinking, what do you call these kind of things? And we're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's this like punk rockabilly cult following for a lot of this stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Like this cool factor to this funny thing.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense, right?
That's exactly right.
I mean, so what do you call that? You know, and it's like, okay, so just kick this thing off. We have to talk about probably the royal families of this subgenre.
Yeah, I would say
these would be like the Montagues and the Capulets of this subgenre.
Yeah, okay.
And we're talking about the Munsters.
Hi, Spot. Look what Eddie has for you.
Hello? Who? Oh, Mr. Gateman from the parlor. Oh, thank you. You sound very natural, too. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Herman, relax. You're so stiff.
Yeah, Herman, let everything go.
Well, I'll try. But the last time I let everything go, some of it didn't come back.
The way you're going, not even Hertz could put you in the driver's seat.
Just hold it a minute, Grandpa.
Herman, at a time like this, you're taking pictures?
I just couldn't help it. You look so natural sitting in that box.
I mean, obviously this is cheesy.
Oh, it was meant to be cheesy, right?
But it also is huge cult following.
And it's also kind of this whole play on the American, modern American family and how this kind of functions kind of deal.
The sitcom, the American Family sitcom was huge when
when this came out. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and this is a spin where they turn it up on their head.
Did you realize that the same people who came up with this concept and this idea are also the same people who created Leave It to Beaver?
Golly. I did not know that.
And we were talking...
But aren't we all?
I feel like you've seen something recently.
Okay.
That leads into this.
No, just finish your story here.
But do you also realize that Universal owns the Munsters, right? So
Right.
Dracula, and the Frankenstein.
Frankenstein,
So
all those.
since they own that, they were able to take the Munsters and use those characters in this parody type kind of way. So
Yeah, they're
Frankenstein
licensed.
and the vampire and all that, they were able to use it because they licensed them. The Munsters were actually even on a Thanksgiving Day parade in Macy's.
I did not know that.
It's right here.
The first sure sign of Christmas in New York is the Macy Parade, when Santa Claus is conducted to town by an assortment of clowns and floats that sets the mood for the holiday season. This year, something new has been added, something from way out. It's the town car of the Munster family, and those TV favorites have come up with a gasser. It's a car not even Detroit could conceive, so the Munsters had it custom built to the tune of $20,000, but it gets only 3 miles to the Goulin, according to Fred Gwynn and Al Lewis, who lurk behind all that makeup. They must be fine, clean-cut boys, though, to escort Santa Claus to town.
I know that it was kind of shocking when they colorized them and actually had the full colorized version.
Wasn't that like the next year? Because here's the deal. Something I didn't realize. It was only 2 seasons.
Yeah, well, it was still like 36 episodes. I don't know. Several episodes.
Yeah, but it was only 2 seasons. It's like Star Trek, right?
Yeah.
So Star Trek originally was, 2.5 seasons? And then it was like...
Yeah.
But then in replay, the cult following became huge.
Absolutely.
The same way with the Munsters. Like, Rob Zombie just made it this kind of shitty...
Yeah.
movie.
Well, we assume it's shitty.
It looks shitty. I mean, here, you tell us.
Looking for a vision, a queen, true love. What exactly do you want?
Is Herman Munster in there? I knew the moment I laid eyes on you that you were special. I understand if you don't feel the same. I'm just a regular gal living a boring, normal life.
And it looks unfortunate.
It looks like a piece of crap. But then also, I mean, there's a pinball, right?
Oh, yeah, which...
is like sought after.
Yeah, it's sought after, which is ridiculous. There was, a lot of people shat on it for the rule set, not because of the theme, but because of the theme, and then guys realizing, oh, it's still fun. This is a pinball machine selling for $14,000 right now.
Used.
That's the power of the Munsters.
And the pinball.
Yeah, so there you go.
But if we're going to talk about the Munsters, we have to talk about the other side of this royal family.
The origin family.
The Addams Family.
That's right.
Don't move. Don't look. Don't even breathe.
Don't worry,
Don't. That's it. Hold it. By Jove, I think I've done it.
Why, Gomez! You're the Michelangelo of Halloween pumpkin.
Carita mia.
When we're together, darling, every night is Halloween.
I just stopped by to talk to you about... They're gonna crash.
You think so, huh?
Beautiful. Who else do you know that's 110 volts? Watch. Beautiful. I can even make it blink.
What's wrong, Lurch?
You didn't shave.
Senoritas never do.
So the Addams Family and the Munsters kind of came out about the same time. They're competing with each other. It was always like these two families were fighting for dominance on television. Now, one of them was based off of a comic strip by Charles Addams.
Right.
The other one was created by Universal as kind of, you know. But the Addams Family didn't have the ability to use the Universal monsters because they didn't have rights to that.
Yeah,
you never really see that. So they're completely different.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I always lean more towards Addams Family than the Munsters.
Yeah, they sold the macabre, I felt, a whole lot more. Whereas, obviously, the Munsters was monster comedy.
Exactly.
It was situational comedy.
Munsters was just so forced comedic.
Yeah, and the Addams Family felt like it was
darker.
It was dark, and that's where the comedy came from.
Yeah.
Because what if your sensibilities were, you know, like theirs as opposed to...
But I never felt like Herman and his wife was anywhere close to the love relationship of Gomez and Morticia.
Well,
I feel like they just set in...
Yeah.
It's okay to be sexy on TV and to show it.
and to show it.
And show it. I mean, because look at... John Astin is not a looker.
No, he is not. Is he, Samwise?
Oh, that's right. Don't forget, John Astin has a famous son, too. You know, Mikey, the Goonies, you know, Sean Astin, you know, Samwise Gamgee.
Samwise Gamgee.
I mean, that's... John Astin is his dad.
Rocky Road?
And might we add, it had a pinball machine that was one of the greatest selling pinball machines of all time.
The movie version, right?
It was from the movie version.
The 1992 version of the Addams Family.
So,
Tim Burton.
Right up my alley, if you know what I mean.
and the Munsters didn't have Cousin It.
They did not. They did not. I mean, if I can get anything that slowly or closely resembles Captain Caveman, I'm going to kind of like it.
Hell yeah.
What him think?
That's Hanna-Barbera. Oh,
yeah, I don't
here
think
we
so.
go.
Nah.
We're going to go down a rabbit hole that you and I can't dig ourselves out of.
However, maybe later on we'll talk.
You know, the funny thing, though, the Addams Family.
Yes.
And it and all those guys actually showed up
on
in Hanna-Barbera stuff.
Was it Scooby-Doo?
Right. It was.
Scoob.
Speaking of Scooby-Doo, once again, this is another one on our list today of comedic horror that wasn't scary.
It wasn't scary, but it was definitely in this genre. There's no doubt about it.
No doubt about it. Okay, so you're solving a crime or a mystery every week of a scary villain.
It's always something spooky. It's a monster. It's a ghost. It's a uraniated. I don't know if that's a real word.
Uraniated?
It's the you know, like like a bad guy in a diver suit, you know?
Exactly. Oh, that's right.
That's
right.
All
the
glowy.
cotton candy ghost.
Yeah, and then you got like the flaming electric bad guy.
Yep.
And
I mean, so Scooby-Doo was built on the idea of everything was spooky. I mean, you had the night armor in the hallways that would try to axe you, right?
Yeah, right.
Or you would have, you know, the guy chasing you in the hallway, scaring your doors that open and close by themselves. Or,
yeah, or you're sitting in the chair like Fred's classic scene.
And he falls out, right?
Good word. Yeah.
I mean, it's a haunted fucking house in the opening credits.
And funny enough, rumor is that Spooky Pinball may be making a
You can't tease me with that because Scooby-Doo is one of my favorite Hanna-Barbera
It's all about pinball today.
of all time.
But Scooby-Doo is awesome. Hanna-Barbera licenses are awesome.
Now, here's the thing. Scooby-Doo's name, initially his name was Too Much.
Oh,
No,
seriously.
literally, that was his name.
Was Too
And he
Much?
played the bongos. But they kind of changed all that up and they took away the musical portion of it. So, but people still argue to this day where Scooby-Doo's name came from. They think it came from either A, Frank Sinatra's, you know, Strangers in the Night.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know, doobie-doobie-doo.
Yeah.
There's also another band called Randy and the Rainbows and a song called Denise. And if you listen to the words in it, it sounds like the Scooby-Doo soundtrack.
I think we should play that right here.
Oh, Denise, Scooby-Doo, I'm in love with you, Denise, Scooby-Doo, I'm in love with you, Denise, Scooby-Doo.
Our next host
Is Amazeballs.
is probably one of the most recognized scary people that's not a universal monster.
Yeah, probably so.
And we're talking about Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Oh, hello, darling. That's right. It's little old me, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, here to invite you to join me for a little snack. And Monster Mania.
Well, I never.
Yeah, and you never will with them soup cans on your head.
Listen, young lady, I don't know who you are or where you came from, but you most certainly don't fit in this town. Why, you don't even fit in that dress.
Listen, sister, if I want your opinion, I'll beat it out of you. Oh, I just love it when the star of the movie gets blown to bits at the end. Because then you know you won't have to sit through a sequel. Don't forget, next week, it's the thing with two heads. And until then, this is Elvira, the gal who put the boob back in the boob tube.
And might I add, she has 3 pinball machines themed after her. So, okay, we are doing really good.
You got a couple other good things that are named after her, too.
Elvira. Oh, Cassandra.
Elvira has to be one of the most recognized hosts of Macabre. Macabre. Anywhere, right?
You read in your head, don't you? You're like,
Macabre.
Macabre.
Wait, when you're on Sesame Street, it was Macabre.
Yeah.
How was that kid? That's like messing with a kid.
Hey, Hooked on Phonics worked for me.
Hooked on Phonics.
Phonics worked for me.
Call 1-800-ABCDEFG.
She had her own comic books. She had her own movies, her own TV shows. Hell, I mean, she's in everything.
Yeah, she's the icon for the incel basement dweller.
She's popular for something.
But I don't mind that. I don't live in a basement, but I think she's pretty amazing.
But you're right. She does have some of the most popular pinballs in the market.
It's really awesome. Like I said, iconic. I think she fits perfectly. Why? She had the show that she would do, and she would have all these
dark thing and
all these silly movies and stuff, and then she's popping in on them, and
she was kind of like the first version of
Mystery Science 3.
Mystery Science 3, exactly right.
That's what she was.
Absolutely. Do you know that she dated Elvis for a while?
I did not know that.
Not as Elvira. Well, maybe.
Well, I know
Is that where the whole rockabilly thing comes from?
It could be. I know that she's kind of badass all the way through and through.
Yeah, she still does stuff now.
Well, I think
kind of slowed down.
I think she's retired officially, but up until this last year and a half ago, she still was like even coming in as Elvira. So
I mean, do you think those things are real?
I would think so.
I mean, they haven't sagged though in like ever.
Are we talking about her wig?
Yeah.
I think the wig's fake.
That wig's fake. And you know what I still think made her the most famous was those 80s Coors commercials.
Hi, darling. It's me, Elvira, telling you that without Coors and Coors Light this Halloween, your friends will get ugly without their masks. So stock up where you see this display. I shop here because they slash prices. Happy Halloween.
You think so?
I think so. I think people didn't even kind of know who Elvira was.
I don't think that's what made her famous.
And then when you think there's a couple other things?
Yeah, that's cool. And she sold that like nobody's business. Yeah.
Okay, so our next little quirky, funny, not scary thing. Do you remember this thing on HBO in the 80s called Tales from the Crypt?
I do.
And the Crypt Keeper.
And you know what else is really funny?
They got a pinball.
They got a pinball machine for Tales from the Crypt.
Tales from the Crypt. It's good to have you back, you horror-hungry humans. You know by now who's here to feed your fear. It's me, the Crypt Keeper. It's disgusting what people will do to stay young.
What's the matter with you? Want to keep that 90-pound corpse for the rest of your death? Keep pumping.
Growing up, I read a ton of horror comics.
Okay.
And Tales from the Crypt fit that subgenre really well. But then you have this Crypt Keeper in the first and the end of it, and he's like, and no matter how much they try to make what's scary in between that, because of what he does and says, I don't think I could ever be scared of anything and take it seriously.
Right. He is definitely kind of like a shtick, kind of.
Mm-hmm. Now, I remember John Kassir was the voice of the Crypt Keeper, and John Kassir became famous from this other 80s TV show called Star Search.
Ed McMahon welcomes celebrity guests David Burney and Tom Jones on television's most entertaining hour.
Catch all the action on the richest talent contest in America.
Oh my God.
Now we're old.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
And this is Star Search.
That's hilarious.
Now, I read recently The Crypt Keeper is a puppet, and you know how much we love puppets.
Yeah, absolutely.
It took 4 puppeteers to run that.
That makes sense because he's got nose inflection, mouth, eyes, and he has hands.
And the same artist who created that puppet also created Chucky.
I did not know that.
And he has the same eyeballs as Chucky does. The blue, glaring Chucky eyeballs are in The Crypt Keeper.
That's kind of cool, actually.
Kind of crypt keepy. Or crypt creepy?
Something like that. Meanwhile...
So I had to bring up an honorable mention to where we get to our last one.
Okay.
And we bring it up because it's newer, and I haven't watched it, but I think you have.
Oh, yes, I have seen this.
And
it's great.
we're talking
Fantastic.
about What You Do in the Shadows.
Total protection from the sun.
I haven't watched the show.
What We Do in the Shadows is hilarious. It's fun. The show's great. The spinoff from the movie, and I don't know. It just fits.
There was
that
a movie?
Yes. It was
What We Do in the Shadows movie?
Yes, it was a movie.
See, I really don't know anything about this.
Yes, it was great, and it had Tiki Watiti.
Taika Waititi?
It had that guy.
That guy.
The
Thor guy.
That guy, yeah, him. He was in the movie, and then they had the spinoff of the.
I did not know that.
It's got the Flying Conchords. The guys from New Zealand that are like this comic funny routine, and then they did the songs and all that stuff.
I didn't know any of that.
Yeah, they're the ones that did the movie.
But they're kind of carrying on that comedic horror thing, right?
And it's so great because the series, wink, wink, pulls in vampires from other movies, etc.
Really?
Every now and then, and
See,
you're like,
now you're tempted.
You're like, oh my gosh, yes!
For somebody who loves supernatural and dark stuff, the fact that I haven't even watched the show seems kind of weird.
Start with the movie, then watch the series, and you're gonna love
kind of what I'm doing this month now.
Every minute of it.
Thanks a lot for just making more shit I have to watch.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Don't let him fucking see this. When we go to this final one,
yes,
there is nothing for me that defines this genre, this comedic horror, like this.
Well, I think this is about perfect.
I think so, and we're talking about the Evil Dead series, or Ash.
I'm bad, Ash. And you're good, Ash. You're goody little two shoes. You're goody little two shoes, goody little two shoes. Little goody two shoes, little goody two shoes, little goody two shoes, little goody two shoes, little goody two shoes. Ow! Little goody two shoes.
Good, bad. I'm the guy with the gun. Yo, she-bitch. Let's go.
Fuck you, Ash! Fuck you! Fuck you, motherfucker!
Hey, little guy. How do you like your eggs? Rebel!
That's right. Who's laughing now?
Evil Dead initially was meant to be kind of a scary movie.
Oh yeah, and it worked.
It worked, but see, then Sam Raimi lost the rights to the original Evil Dead.
So they had to make a remake.
They had to make a new one, so they parts of Evil Dead 2, they moved new ideas into it because they couldn't pull the old stuff.
Yeah.
So Evil Dead 2 became even funnier.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a girl dancing around with no head. You know, you got a guy cutting his arm off and
I would say
laughing about
Evil
it.
Dead 2 is the definitive edition.
Of Evil Dead,
Yeah,
right?
Evil Dead.
Absolutely. And then Army of Darkness came out, which that is complete camp all the way through.
I could talk for hours on Army of Darkness. That is a great.
And what's funny about that is Sam Raimi doesn't own the rights to Army of Darkness, so when they did the Ash vs. Evil Dead, they couldn't even bring that up. It's like, we keep repeating these mistakes over and over. Sam Raimi, you need to talk to George Lucas. You want to know how to hang on to your fucking rights?
Yeah.
Lucas knows how to do that. I think you and I can sit here and just do a whole episode just on Ash.
Oh, that would be super easy to do.
Why did we not do that? It would have taken a lot less effort than this.
We have a Necronomicon.
Oh. We do have a Necronomicon, and it's written in blood.
Oh, it is. It's so fantastic.
That even doesn't seem scary.
No, but it looks
Epic.
awesome. I mean, look at this. And oh, is this copyrighted? Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh, my.
Look at that. Mm-hmm.
Plantu, Barada, Nectu.
So what about you? Did we miss a comedic horror or something that we didn't list today?
Yeah, I'm sure we did.
Sure we did.
But then again, what do you classify this type of grouping of shows?
I would be
and
curious
films?
to see what somebody would call this.
Yeah.
And then why is there like this movement of people who like identify with it so much they like wear clothing of it, they buy stuff from it, they dress like it.
I dare
get
say
tattoos of it.
I dare say the goth movement kind of is from this genre.
But this isn't gothy. Addams Family, gothy. Munsters,
Wednesday
not so much.
Became the poster child for the goth movement.
The new Wednesday series looks amazing.
Yeah, so there we go.
All right, so what about you? Do you think we missed one? Write in the comments below, but don't forget to like, share, and
subscribe. And don't forget, ding his dong, because that's how he's going to let you know when he's got new content ready for you to consume.
We're going to let you know.
And well, yeah.
But don't forget to catch us on Friday when we review
that right there.
Bowmore 12-year.
Hey, it's a 12-year.
That's right, and we're going to drink up. So continue to be geeky. We'll see you guys on Friday for Second Pour, and
cheers.
Cheers.